computer program named Smith.
No one likes a smartass Smith. We don't have much time. Harlan's planning an attack.
Atlas, my primary protocol is to keep you alive.
Same! I don't need your help. I don't trust any AI. Smith!
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2024 Netflix science fiction film Atlas. The film is directed by Brad Payton and it stars Jennifer Lopez, Simu Liu, Sterling K. Brown and Mark Strong. Okay, so this is set in the future. It's another one of those AI stories. We've used AI to our advantage. We've got like these AI companions, like these robots, very safe, looking after the family and children, blah, blah, blah. And then there is this one AI companion, Harlem, played by Simu Liu, who kind of reprograms himself and becomes the leader of these AIs who turn on mankind, kill millions of people. Mankind fights back, sends them off-world, and they're not seen for 28 years. Jennifer Lopez's character, Atlas, was, when Harlem was an AI companion, she was a child in that household, and they had a very strong relationship. So she's got... she's really invested with tracking down Harlem and his companions off-world. So she works for the military, she gets some information that they need, and they learn of the planet's location where these AIs are hiding out. She heads there with a load of military people who've got these giant military suits to take out these AIs. As you can imagine, things don't go well, and it's down to Atlas to save the day in one of these AI suits that she's got to kind of pair with, which she's reluctant to do. Right. What are my thoughts on Atlas? I like a good action film. I like a good sci-fi film. And, you know, Netflix can and do deliver decent films. Is this one of them? Not really. Is this a disaster? No, it's not a disaster by any stretch of the imagination. It's definitely watchable. I think the effects are of a very good standard, and there's the bones here of a good film. The execution for me just doesn't work. There's too much here to kind of pick at. I mean, the director Brad Payton has done things like Rampage and San Andreas. I mean, he knows how to kind of make effects movies, and that's not really the problem here with this film. The effects, I think, they're of a good standard. The problem here is it's a story that has been done time and time again. It doesn't feel like it's anything original really in this story. So I mean, it's almost, all I kept thinking about is it kind of felt like Battlestar Galactica, just told really poorly and not very effectively. And then we've got Jennifer Lopez. Now, again, I don't have an issue with Jennifer Lopez. There's plenty of examples out there of Jennifer Lopez and her acting ability. And, you know, you've got things like Out of Sight with George Clooney. Fabulous film, great performance by both her and Clooney. Shall We Dance? You know, great performance by her in that. So there's obviously an actress there. But I just didn't enjoy her performance in this film. It was way, way overboard. And she spends much of the film bickering and arguing with her AI companion in this big mech suit. And the idea is with these mech suits is you're supposed to pair with the mech suit and become one. And you put this earpiece on and then you kind of sync with each other. And then, you know, I don't know, you're supposed to work more effectively together. You kind of become one. And she's reluctant to do that because she doesn't trust AI. So much of the film is her bickering and arguing with this AI companion, Smith. So much of this film, a big chunk of this film, is her in a mech suit talking to herself, essentially. Even though we see her talking to this Smith. And it's not interesting. She even continues the bickering when she gets captured later in the film. She's on like this interrogation bed, and it's so dumb. They leave her alone these AIs, and these are supposed to be like the smartest things around, and they leave her completely alone so that she can communicate with Smith. And then they start bickering. Then it's not like a whisper bicker, it's like quite loud bickering that she's doing. And nobody comes to check out and say, what are you shouting at? It's just, there's so many dumb things in this film. It's just like, I don't know. It's almost like you don't know where to start with the dumb things. Now, I can forgive a lot of stupidity or dumbness in action sci-fi movies if the rest of it kind of lets you forget it or lets you forgive it, and it doesn't here. You know what I mean? Another example is you've got dozens of these highly trained rangers in these mech suits, ready to take on these AIs on the planet. And granted, they get ambushed and all this kind of stuff, and you see them fall into Earth. It's quite an impressive sequence and stuff, and they're battling these AIs, and then she kind of gets plonked in this mech suit. She's not synced to one. She's not a ranger. It's just for her own safety. And then she's kind of wandering, and she finds all these rangers in these mech suits dead. I mean, there's dozens of them. Dead, dead, dead. Everywhere she looks, dead, 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 dead. And these are highly trained specialists, these rangers. And then you've got Jennifer Lopez. Never stepped foot in one of these mech suits before. Doesn't like syncing, doesn't like AI. And then, there's points in this film where she's flipping about and shooting things like she's Optimus Prime or something. It just beggars belief, and it just stretches the believability factor beyond a level that you can kind of forgive, in my opinion. And then you've got Simu Liu, who I think he was in the Shang-Chi Marvel film. He's just not memorable as a villain at all. There's nothing memorable about his performance or the villain or these AIs or anything like that, really. And it's a real shame because, like I said, there is the bones here of an interesting film if it had been told properly. And I just didn't get it, and I didn't buy it. I didn't buy the central performance by Jennifer Lopez. And again, all the bones was there for an interesting character because she's got a direct link to these AIs and, and a serious amount of guilt as well. So there's definitely the bones there for a good character, but the deliverance of the performance by Jennifer Lopez, it's just way over the top and unlikable. And it seemed like she was far more interested, definitely early on in the film, of making sure her hair looked fine for the movie, or I don't know what style it was going for, but I didn't buy her performance. And for me, your central protagonist, sorry, if you don't buy into them, then you don't have a movie, and I didn't buy into her, unfortunately. So therefore, I found myself having itchy feet watching the film. It just didn't work for me for the most part. So, like I said, I mean, there's some fun to be had here. The action sequences are done well. Then there's quite a few of them, and the effects are of a very, very good standard. I've seen far worse movies than this year even. So, it's not, I think this is a film that probably, if you've got Netflix, if you're not too fussy and you pop it on, you might come away and think, that's all right, actually, I didn't mind that too much. For me, looking at it with a critical eye, there's far too much wrong with this film for me to come away thinking that was a fun, really enjoyable film, because I just didn't feel that way by the end, unfortunately. So, yeah, let me know in the comments, guys, what your thoughts are on this film. And I will, of course, be back with plenty more reviews and content on the channel very, very soon.